Hey guys, Matt Schwartz, FCG, Forensic Card Grading. We've got another fun one for you today. In my hand I've got a PSA10 Luka. Similar to what we did with the Bobby Witt Jr. crack and grade. What we're going to do is we're going to crack it, we're going to take it under the scope, I'm going to walk you through how each of the subgrades are determined. Again, the purpose of this is far from to discredit their grading, more so than anything else. I'm curious to see what the 10s look like, PSA 10. There's a wide variance there between a 9 and a 10, and that's personally why I think cards should have subgrades. But again, purpose of this just to give you a look at what this actually looks like, and then we're going to do it as a giveaway through the group. So thanks for tuning in, and hope you like it. Hey guys, here we are at one of the desks. Kind of give you a tour of what we've got. We've got our screen, we've got our scope, we've got our magnifying lamp. We've got our pads. As you can see, graders wear gloves. I don't do the grading, by the way. We've got 6 full-time graders on staff. They are camera shy though. But best to keep the hands off the cards as best we can, so we use the pads. Cool thing about these scopes, guys, is the ability to adjust the lighting aspect to best suit the card. With a lot of these shinier cards, the Panini stuff, the Bowman Chrome, if the light is hitting the surface of the card in a certain way, you can't really, it doesn't really give you a great look. So for the corners and the edges, guys, what we do on these, we actually turn it off, and then we bring in the light from the magnifying lamp, and what you're going to see is it gives us a really good look at the corners and the edges. So starting here, just kind of follow me. Right here, this corner is really sharp, and we're going to take it under the lamp. We're going to look at the actual edges too, and also look at the back. The corner looks sharp here. We're at a 10. This corner, same thing, maybe not quite as sharp, but sharp nonetheless, in that 9, 5, 10 range. We rotate around. Bottom corner looks really good, same thing, in that 10 range, I would say. And then our final corner down here, maybe a little something going on, but I'd say in that 9, 5 range. So overall, at least under the scope, guys, 9, 5 on the corners. And then what I do from here, first off, we're going to take a look at the corners under the magnifying glass, just to make sure that there's nothing going on there. We're good here on the top left. Looking at the top right, same thing. Moving on to the bottom, guys. Looks clean, looking good so far. Fourth and final corner, looks good. We're at a 9-5 so far, and then we're going to take a look at the back of the card, guys. Just as important as the front. Corners are looking sharp. Maybe a little, and I mean a very little amount of something going on this bottom left on the back, but not enough to change anything, more so confirming that 9-5 grade. And that does it, guys. We're at a 9-5 corner. Moving on to the edges, kind of follow the edge. The trick to this, guys, is knowing the difference between damage and reflection. With these really reflective cards, the way the light hits it, right, is going to determine what you see and what you don't see. So again, same thing, we've got the light turned off on the scope, we've got the light in here from the magnifying glass, and follow me as we rotate around the edge. Right here. So you can see here we've got a little bit of fraying, nothing terrible. Rotating around, follow the line. Same thing, it continues around here, and this is indicative of a lot of these Panini cards. You see this type of stuff all the time. It's nothing crazy, nothing bad. Continues through here, you can see a little bit of fray going in through here. This line right here that you're seeing, guys, is just how the light is reflecting off of it. It's not necessarily damage either. It isn't damage, I should say. Rotating around the horn, guys, you can see a little bit more of that right here. And a little bit more in through here. But again, not bad overall as far as how a lot of these Panini Prism cards are. Coming around the final edge. Right here you can see more of it, guys. You can see it right here, kind of flyers coming off the side. Got a little something going on right here, you can see. I'm going to pick it up right now and look under the magnifying glass just to get a better feel for what that actually is. And what it is, guys, it's actually a little bit of a ding on the edge. Let me see if I can get back to where it was. You can see it right here. So basically what we've got, at least under the scope, we've got these flyers coming off, a little bit rough on the edge. We've also got a ding over here with the fraying that you guys saw, with that ding, I'm in that 9 range as far as the edge goes. But before we make our final assessment or mark for the edge grade, we're going to take it under the magnifying glass as well. We're going to look at the back. We're also going to turn it up on the side, and we're going to look at the edges themselves. Looks pretty good. You've got that factory cut where it's not smooth. As far as looking for any trimming, anything like that, any tampering, that's what you're looking for, is that edge. And contrary to what you would think, you don't want to see that smooth edge. Instead, what you're looking for is a little bit of a rough, kind of what the factory cut looks like. So that's what we're seeing here. Edges look pretty good as far as the actual edges. And then taking a look at the back of the card, guys, what we're looking for here is any type of whitening around the edges or anything like that. And in this case, the back looks pretty good, especially for one of these prisms. A lot of the time you see whitening around the edges on this. On this, none. It actually looks really good on the back. But as far as the subgrade on the edges, guys, we're going to go with a 9. We're going to go with a 9 because of the dent that you saw and also a lot of the fraying around the edges. So we've got a 9 subgrade for the edge. Moving on to surface, guys, we turn the lamp off, and what we do is we turn the light on the scope, and we're basically going to sift with the light. And what you'll find and see is as the light gets closer to any type of damage, that damage will kind of light up, whether it be a scratch, dent, anything like that. So follow the light on the edge and I'll show you guys. And you can see right here, very, very minor. Keep in mind that this is under pretty heavy magnification. But right around here, guys, watch as the light gets closer, how it lights up right there. You can see that there's a little bit of a surface ding right here, right? This ding on the basketball is part of the card. That is not a bullet. That is on all of these prisms, or at least on all of these Luka prisms, so we're not going to knock for that. Right here you can see there's a little bullet right here in his wrist. You can see when the light gets close to it, it starts to shine a little bit, but again, very minor and under pretty heavy magnification. But we will take that into consideration when determining our final subgrade. And again, following the light, you can see that there's a little bit of a ding right here, guys. Again, nothing major, but still going to be taken into account. Maybe a little something here. Again, very, very, very minor in nature. A little bit of scratching right here. So far, just a bunch of little stuff. Nothing major. Maybe a little scratch right here. Oh, we also, there were some fingerprints on the cards, guys. All the graders have microfiber on their desk. They've got permission to give a wipe down when needed, as long as doing so doesn't pose any damage to the card. Almost to the bottom of the card, guys. And again, nothing terribly bad at this point. A little something right here. A little bit of scratching in here. So far we're in that 9.5 range, guys, but I'm also going to pick up the card and we're going to see eye appeal wise how these things appear to the eye. So a little bit of a bullet here, small bullet, nothing terrible. That's part of the card, no big deal. Looking good down here so far. Good deal. Alright, so far I'm at a 9.5. It's leaning towards a 9. But we're going to take a look at the back of the card, and we're also going to see how these small things that we saw under the scope, how they play into the eye appeal of the card. So let's do that first. Just kind of taking a peek at the card, getting familiar with it. Nothing terrible, guys. Right, to the eye, the card looks good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the card. Do so under the magnifying lamp. And same thing, guys. We're looking for any scratches, any dents, any dings, anything like that, any marks. And I'm not seeing anything so far. No indentations that you'll sometimes see on these prisms. Nothing like that. And there's nothing wrong with the back of the card, guys. The back of the card is clean. Taking it all in, we're going to go with a 9.5 surface grade. There's some minor dings and nicks here. They're but from an eye appeal standpoint, it's not detracting from the card. It's not a 10, it's not a 9, it's right in the middle. We're good at a 9.5. So we're going to do the centering, and just to give you a look at how we're doing it, we've got our ruler. It allows us to measure within a 1/10 of a millimeter. We're doing it on card in a penny sleeve, obviously on the screen, so it's a lot easier to see. We're going to do left to right, and then I'll walk you through the calculation and show you how we determine the centering subgrade. So starting with the measurement on the left, we're going to pick an equal spot on left and right, and we're going to measure in from here into here. So coming into right here, you can see right here, guys, it's 50, right? So we're going to mark that down. Got 50 on the left. Move over to the right, same spot on the card. We are at about 50, 56. So the way you do it, guys, you take the total. So 50 plus 56 is 106. You've got a 6-point difference between the two. So you take 6 divided by 106 is 5.6%. Our scales on the website, guys, but generally anything 0 to 3% is going to come into our 10 range. Anything up to 7, 9, 5, and then generally up to about 15%, 9, and then so forth. We're also going to measure the top to bottom, and we're also going to look at the back. On the back, centering has to be 80-20 or worse for us to adjust the centering grade. So let's do this top to bottom next. Starting with the top, on these guys, what we're going to do is we're going to work with the top of the Panini logo to the top edge. And you can see right here, guys, we've got it at about 27. So we're going to write down the 27 for the top. We're going to measure the bottom next. From the bottom of the nameplate to the bottom of the card, you can see here, guys, we're coming in at 34, right? So same calculation. You've got 27 on the top, 34 on the bottom. It's a little bit skewed, a little bit smaller on the top than the bottom. 34 plus 27, we've got 61 as our total. You've got a 7-point difference. 7 divided by 61 is 11.4, and that's going to fall into our 9 range. Taking the 2 into account, where we're going to figure whether we go with the 9 or the 9.5 is going to be dependent on the eye appeal of the card. And you can definitely see the skew, smaller on top, smaller on the bottom. Taking into account that 5.5% variance left to right as well, we're going to go with the 9 center grade on this. But before we finalize that, we're also going to take the peek at the back. Again, 80-20 or worse on the back to make an adjustment. In this case, not even close. The back looks good. And we finalize our 9 centering grade. Alright, guys, so just kind of give you a good look at what the card looks like. As far as the final subgrades go, we came up with the 9.5 surface. A couple of nicks and dents and dings here, but very, very minor in nature. And again, all relative. Keep in mind that under the scope, that's pretty good magnification. So 9.5, feel good there. Corners were good. Tiny little bit of stuff rounding-wise, but not bad at all. 9.5 corner. The edges are where we had some issues. As you saw, there was some fraying around the edges. There was that one dent or ding around the edge, so we came in with the 9 edge, and then we measured the centering. We came in with the 9 center grade. So you've got 2 9.5s with the 2 9s. We've got a 9 final grade, no autograph, and that's it, guys. What we're going to do from here, we'll go ahead and get this slabbed up, take a few days, and then we'll go ahead and do the giveaway in the group. As always, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. Check us out on the web. It's fcggrading.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, and I appreciate everybody's support.